But what he's realizing here is maybe my perception isn't the reality, it's just a perception.
Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before.
I love that. You can see it.
Christmas, he thought,
His eyes turn blue.
Yeah.
doesn't come from
As a blue-eyed person, I would just like to point out that all good people have blue eyes.
Hello and welcome to Cinema Therapy. I'm Jonathan Decker and I have termites in my smile.
I am Alan Seawright, and I am a can of Who Hash.
What's going on, brother?
Well, today we are, as you may have gathered, going to talk about The Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
Ooh,
Yeah.
excellent.
The original 1960 whatever weirdo animated one that's weird.
Not the Jim Carrey parade of prosthetics.
I'm booked.
Not the Jim Carrey atrocity or the Benedict Cumberbatch most recent animated film, which I have not seen, but you said was...
It was good. That's fine.
This is the loudest snow I've ever heard in my life.
Fine.
But you're going to get some flare-ups from calling that one an atrocity. The fans of the Jim Carrey one are passionate.
There are fans of the Jim Carrey one?
Exactly.
All right.
So let's talk about the original, though.
There are many psychological problems on display
Yeah.
from the Grinch.
He's not a healthy person.
No, he's not.
Or whatever he is. He's a Grinch.
He's not a healthy Grinch.
He's not a healthy Grinch.
Arguably, even at the end, his heart is oversized. That can lead to complications.
It's all the Who hash. Let's do this.
Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot, but the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not.
Ooh.
The Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now, please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. But I think
The animation
the most likely reasonable
of the whole show, but particularly of the Grinch, is so good. Like, it's so squishy and just kind of...
Look at the fat rolls, like when he's got his hands on his hips.
Ugh, it's so good.
Hating the
Was it Mel Blanc? Who did the Looney Tunes? Who did this? You remember?
I don't
sour,
know.
grinchy frown at the warm, lighted windows below in their town. For he knew every Who down in
Like that
Whoville
dog.
beneath was busy now.
Looks so unnatural. I love the feet of everything in here.
Yeah. Just fur glops.
He snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas. It's practically here. Then he growled with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming. I must find some way
Ooh,
to
his
keep
teeth.
Christmas from coming. For tomorrow, I know. All those Who girls and boys will wake bright and early. They'll rush for their toys and then, oh, that noise, noise.
So here we're seeing his perception of Christmas, which is they're a bunch of morons
They're a bunch of morons that are just making...
Noise.
idiotic expressions on their faces who have vacant brains and love this stupid thing. Like, that's how he sees it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, to me, like, I think of this story as how we react to somebody loving something that we hate.
Right.
It could be a TV show or a movie or a sports team or a politician or their particular, their religious creed or whatever, and it could be something that just rubs us the wrong way
Yeah.
or that we even despise. Our perception is our reality.
Right.
Okay, so in order for it to make sense, in order for me to still maintain this self-belief that I am wise and that I am good, they must therefore be stupid and bad.
Yeah, I mean, the big scary ones are politics, religion, and nationality and race.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's the same psychological phenomenon.
And very often what happens is our identity is wrapped up in the things that we love.
Right.
Therefore, if you hate what I love or you love something that I hate, it's a threat to my identity and you become the other.
Right. You're criticizing me, not Christmas,
Yeah. And this tribal instinct is so strong that we divide over serious things, but also over completely moronic, stupid crap.
Incredibly stupid crap.
Like, it's not even live and let live. It's like Trek versus Wars. We're going to go ballistic.
Look, we all know that Kirk and Han Solo would meet each other, get in a fist fight, and then be drinking buddies.
Oh, yeah.
Just relax about it.
I look at this with the Grinch, and he has this, when it shows his mental image of the Who's, they look like morons. Just noise-making morons. And what this does is it keeps us from having, or at least appreciating, okay, you know what, it's not my thing, but I want to know what you see in it. I want to know what it means to you. Because we should all have, especially around the holidays, a desire to not vilify. I mean, I think we've had enough of that, not just this year, but just in life, of vilifying. We need to have more of this, I don't get it, so help me get it. And I might not even change my mind.
So the one other thing that I wanted to talk about from this that's interesting is, you know, the Grinch has his worldview, and it's very narrow, and you know, this is a common problem amongst humans. The thing I wanted to talk about, though, is the unintended consequences of the Who's. Because the Who's intention is good, right? They're celebrating Christmas, they're singing, they're having fun, they're laughing, they're all this stuff. So the intention is good, but the result is, for the Grinch,
all the noise, 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 noise.
The Who's are like your downstairs neighbors who blast their hip-hop really loud.
You want to dance?
yeah, that's exactly what they are. Fun-loving, wonderful people, if you're hanging out with them. If you live upstairs from them, I freaking hate these people.
Don't scratch it. Wait.
And how that plays out in our lives, if, for example, we don't talk about it very often on the show because we're people of faith. One of the reasons we don't talk about it on the show is because we don't want to be the noisy neighbors who are banging the drum of something we love that you don't like.
Yeah.
Or that you may even despise, right? A big part of this, of making room at the table, you'll hear me say that phrase a lot on the show, making room at the table, because it actually happens in this movie.
Literally happens.
It literally happens in this movie, but making room at the table is, help me understand what your intentions are, what this means to you, and I'm going to tell you what the results are, right? Because you are blind to, hey, I'm trying to sleep up here.
I've got a splitting headache, and your stupid hip-hop isn't helping. And the front door is open again!
It's not hip-hop. It's electro.
And looking for the good in everybody and recognizing that inherently most people are good. Most people want safety, respect, and love. Most people want to enjoy life. And people find things that they're passionate about to kind of build their lives around. And if we have mutual respect for that, then we can all get along. And that is peace on earth, goodwill toward men.
That's exactly what...
See how I tied that in there?
Wow.
The Christmas miracle.
It's...
What's the Christmas miracle? My brain.
Roll it. We hit 3,000 subs, and he just...
The ego is unchecked.
Pooh-pooh to the Who's, he was grinchily humming. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up. I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two. Then the Who's down in Who.
So he stole Christmas from them
Boo-hoo.
because he wants them to be miserable.
That's a noise
Because
in
they
the
make
Grinch
him
that
miserable.
I simply
And his
must
assumption
hear.
is that what they love about Christmas is gifts and
And the
cacophony.
Grinch put a hand to his ear.
They like noise and they like presents.
And he did
And I've
hear
taken
a
that from
sound
them.
rising
Yeah, because
over
from
the
his
snow.
perspective, that's all he sees and hears.
Started in low, then it started to grow.
Can I live in Whoville? What a beautiful place that is. Like these cute little houses in the middle of these towering peaks.
And everything like faces inward.
Oh, so great.
This sound wasn't sad. What? This sound sounded glad.
Again, the animation on his face, it's so wrinkly and squashy and stretchy, and
Was singing
man, I love the animation in this
without
film.
any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or other, it came just the same. And the Grinch with his Grinch feet, ice
weird
cold
legs.
in the snow.
His knees are uneven. I just noticed that.
And his paunchy little
How
belly.
could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It
All the
came without
expressions are
packages,
so
boxes
great.
or bags.
But what he's realizing here is maybe my perception isn't the reality, it's just a perception.
Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before.
You can see it.
Christmas, he thought,
His eyes turn blue.
doesn't come from a
As a blue-eyed
storm.
person, I would just like to point out that all good people have blue eyes.
Needs a little bit more.
I mean, all blue-eyed people are good.
Right, not all good people have blue eyes, but all blue-eyed people are good. I don't know, it's a little too Hitler for me.
Super Hitler. That's terrible.
That poor dog. He's got such a weird... This dog...
Such a weird face.
Well, but the dog doesn't know if he's going to get kindness or abuse at any moment from the Grinch.
I feel like we could do a whole episode on just being in an abusive relationship that's just focused on the dog.
Oh, yeah. So...
This dog got gaslit, just like my dog, as previously mentioned in our Tangled episode.
I really hope the Grinch doesn't strain so hard that he lets
What
one rip,
happened
because
then?
that dog is not in a
Well,
good
in
position.
Whoville, they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes. that
Okay,
day.
best face in animation history.
And then
That one.
the true meaning of Christmas came through, and the Grinch found the strength of 10 Grinches, plus 2.
This is going to be a weird analogy, or a weird example, but stay with me. For the longest time, I hated, not even dislike, I hated horror movies.
Right.
Hated them because I'm all about the beauty of human relationships and every person matters. And to me, horror movies are all about watching innocent people die in graphic, bloody ways for your entertainment, right? And I thought, what a sadistic, terrible thing to be into. Now, that was very judgmental of me. I'm owning that.
Also, child of the 80s when there were a lot of slasher films, which kind of are that.
Which kind of are that. And so, but I in recent years, I've like started talking to people who are super into horror. And you know what's weird? They're usually some of the nicest people.
Well, the sweetest people I've ever met are like when I go to horror conventions and horror film festivals.
Yeah.
Just the most lovely, wonderful people.
What I've done is I've said, okay, help me see what you see. Because when I look at it, this is what I see.
Right.
Help me see what you see. And they talk about catharsis, like, because I know it's not real, then I can let all of my aggression out by watching this movie, and then I don't want to hurt anyone in real life. It's one of the reasons why they're so sweet.
Right.
Right? Another thing is I'm super into practical effects and the filmmaking and how they pull off the creature effects and the gore, and I just get like super into that.
Well, and a lot of the most inventive stuff that happens in film, frankly, happens in horror movies.
Is these graphic kills, which we won't show in this episode because it's very family friendly. And then people who are into the whole trope, but it's an awesome trope of the final girl.
Final girl trope.
Of standing against misogyny and finding your power to confront your fear. Actually, we have plans to do a good episode on that in 10 months, but we have a good
We have a
Halloween
really good
episode
one coming.
What the hell did you do that for?
So I can kill him.
As I listen more and more, craziest thing happened. Still not my favorite genre, but I'm becoming a horror fan.
There's so many good ones.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Right? And so, like I say, we don't always change our view and perspective, but when we pay people the courtesy and the decency of saying, okay, I don't see it, tell me why this matters to you, sometimes we shift our perspective. Sometimes we just have a newfound appreciation for people, but it helps us to broaden our horizons.
Absolutely. That's really why I wanted to talk about this. It's such a classic. The question I have for you, I have some theories, but the question I have for you, the viewer, is why is this silly little short, video from the 60s still considered such a classic and beloved by so many people, including the two of us?
Because how many of you watch it every year? I mean, I do, right?
I do.
Yeah. So why is it so beloved?
The themes are universal. They're really strong. They're just lovely. It's just a lovely sentiment that like you can learn and grow from other people.
Yeah.
The animation is so weird, and the songs are so goofy.
I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole.
The Grinch comes to see that Christmas for them wasn't about noise and it wasn't about presents. That's just what he saw. For them, it was about togetherness. It was about peace. It was about joy. It was just about happiness. And they didn't need presents to create that. And we're dealing with movies because we're a movie channel, but this is true of people's politics, of their faith, of their worldview, of their culture, of their heritage, of anything that they're passionate about, they love. If you take the time to actually understand why they love it, instead of saying, well, I don't love it, so you must be
an idiot or terrible.
Yeah. You will have better relationships. And that's a great thing to remember at Christmas, Hanukkah, Festivus. People are going to get together. It could get ugly, or it could be a really beautiful thing.
I would like to get together with you about this. I've got our Whoville popcorn over here. It's white chocolate, and it's just yummy.
For the snow?
For the snow.
I've got jalapeno cheddar or jalapeno cheese for the spicy personality of the Grinch himself. This is from Lisa's Passion for Popcorn, our sponsor, passionforpopcorn.com. They will deliver to your door for your movie night. Also great for Christmas.
Great for Christmas or a Christmas movie night.
So if you want to watch this movie, we've got a link down below for you to rent and buy it. I do free 15-minute consultations. If you want some help with your relationships, you can click on the link to schedule with me. You can also follow us on our socials.
@therapy_cinema on Twitter and Instagram. And then you can also find us on Facebook. Jono, it has truly been a delight talking about How the Grinch Stole Christmas with you. And I think we should all be a little bit more like the Grinch this holiday season. Late stage blue-eyed Grinch, not early stage red-eyed Grinch.
So until next time, carve the roast beast.
I'm a bad banana with a greasy black peel.
And
watch movies.
An empty hole. Your brain is full of spiders. You've got garlic in your soul, Mr. Grinch. I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole.